Who you know put it down like Chris, with a style so lit, flow that sound like this. Trying to make every video a hit, so you won't wanna miss this week's This Is Chris. What's up, guys, and welcome back to This Is Chris. Before we get started, I want to apologize for the late video. I've been having some technical difficulties with my equipment. My memory card just didn't want to read for some reason. I don't know. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about something that I get a lot of questions on. And if you have me on social medias, you see that I frequently post about my kids. I have a son and a daughter. My son's name is Caleb Gianni, and my daughter's name is Kristen Diani. And so I get a lot of questions as to how I had kids. Like, did I have kids before my transition, or, you know, what's up with that? So just want to talk about that, just to clarify things for you guys, only because you guys will be seeing my kids in the vlogs. So before anything, I just want to let you guys know what's what and explain myself finally for everybody to know. So I was 16 when I got with their mother, and she was a couple years older than me. We first got together. I knew that she had a daughter that was going on a year old, and that didn't, you know, bother me at all, even though I was only 16. It wasn't until a few months of us talking, she went to a doctor and found out that she was several months pregnant, and it just so happened that she was a few months further along than we were talking. So she was already pregnant by the time we started talking. She just didn't know, and she just happened to find out when we were already talking. At first, that kind of, like, at first I was a little iffy about it. Like, I didn't know if that was something that I was really willing to get involved with, and I took a step back, and I took myself out of the relationship, and I kind of, you know, just cut things off for a little bit. In the time that I spent apart from her, I started analyzing things to myself, and I kind of looked at it from a different perspective and saw it whereas my mom was a teen mom, and she had me at 15 years old, and my stepfather raised me since I was 2. He was 17, 18 years old, so he was a teen parent as well. He didn't leave my mom because she had me. My mom also happened to be pregnant with my twin brothers, and he didn't leave my mom because she was pregnant with my twin brothers either. He ended up staying with her and raised me my whole life. And I said to myself, if he would have left my mom and not stuck it out with her and raised me and been there for me, then I wouldn't have a dad right now. I thought to myself, like, God has given me the same opportunity with these kids. So I didn't want to let the fact that she had kids stop me from being with her. I didn't want to look at them as a burden. I started to look at them more as a blessing, you know. So yeah, I was young, and yeah, you know, the statistics were against us, but my kids turned out to be brilliant kids. They're loved, you know, their mom loves them, I love them. They're not dysfunctional at all. They're perfectly fine. They're healthy, they're grown, they're smart, beautiful. I mean, even though the odds were against us, we did a pretty good job. At 16 years old, I became a teen parent. But I didn't become a teen parent because I was forced. I became a teen parent because I chose to be a teen parent. I chose to take on that responsibility and take on that role. Now, as an openly trans person, I think that it probably also had a lot to do with, like, me being transgender and just not realizing it, because when I was way younger, like, I want to say the 3rd or 2nd grade, let me try to remember the teacher. 2nd grade. It was the 2nd grade, and it was a reading teacher of mine. Well, he asked us, like, we did like a project or like a questionnaire or something, and because it wasn't a project that I had to present, it was just, I remember it being something that nobody else was gonna see, so I wrote down what I felt. They said, what do you want to be when you get older? And I wrote, the best dad in the world. And after class, everybody left. He brought it to my attention, and he asked me to explain myself. I didn't, and I said that it was just a joke, that I was just playing a joke or whatever, and he told me that I needed to take it serious, and that he was going to give me the questionnaire again so that I can write a serious response. And he wasn't upset about it. Like, I guess he asked me because he wanted to know if maybe there was something going on, but I chickened out and just told him no, it was a joke, I was being funny, and laughed it off. And so he kind of just took it as me being like a troublemaker, I guess. But I guess I've always wanted to be a dad, and God gave me that opportunity anyway, even though like my body was able to have a child, but could not see myself going through a pregnancy. I feel like my dysphoria with being in a woman's body is so, it's so powerful sometimes. Like I know myself and I can't see myself pregnant, and I can never see myself carrying a child. And even though I would love to have had a child that like had my DNA, I still, like, I didn't want to have to risk postpartum depression and risk going through all the sad stuff after that it could bring, and it possibly affect the baby or my relationship with the baby. And it was just too much, too much emotions involved and too many risks for me. So I didn't want to do that and get pregnant before I was on testosterone. I could have froze my eggs and later on get it fertilized and have my partner carry it, but I didn't do that. Right now I have a boy and a girl. I'm pretty good with it. Like, I love my kids no matter what. DNA doesn't really make a difference for me. So, I mean, my kids call me dad, and that was never forced either. My daughter was probably 2 years old, and I had already been around for a while, just hanging out in the bedroom. I think she went to pass me my keys or something and called me daddy. I remember me and my baby mother looking at each other like, whoa, like, what just happened? But, I mean, not to make anybody look bad, but their biological father wasn't in the picture, and I was coming around. I was dating their mother, I was coming around. She had 2 kids, so I'm not just gonna not help her with the kids. I'm dating her like I care about her. And I ended up building a family. We built a family together, and it's a beautiful thing because the relationship that I have with my kids it's a beautiful thing. Like, they love me no matter what. They love me as if I was their biological father. Like, it doesn't make a difference to them. I love them like they're my own DNA because they taught me so much. I learned so much about life being their dad. Now, as a trans dad, nothing is different. I'm a normal dad. I do normal dad things with them. I'm overprotective over my daughter like a normal dad. I bond with my son the way normal dads bond with their sons. So I don't really do anything different. I guess the only reason I'm a trans dad is because I am actually transgender, because it doesn't define my fatherhood. It doesn't define my relationship with my kids. It doesn't make my relationship with my kids different. It doesn't make my fatherhood any different from anybody else's. As far as my kids knowing, my daughter knows and my son doesn't. I spoke with my daughter. She's 9 years old, and I spoke with her about it one day. And only because I feel like she got old enough to understand that I was a woman, and then I started transitioning. So I didn't want to, like, just leave her confused without explaining myself. I want to show them that they can have an open relationship with me and vice versa. And I explained to her that I was born in a female's body, but my brain was the brain of a boy. So I always felt like a boy, but I was always stuck in the girl's body. So once I got old enough, I went to the doctor and I told the doctors how I feel, and they gave me medicine so that it would change my body to match my brain. And I didn't want to get into, like, all the scientific parts about it and stuff and all the technical stuff. I just wanted to paint, like, an easy picture that didn't seem so scary or so, like, overwhelming for her. Something that was simple so she could understand it. So that went well, and the only thing that she told me she didn't want was for me to let my facial hair grow. She said she wants to see me look young forever, but I am definitely stoked about the facial hair, so very excited about that. Sorry, Pookie. However, my son doesn't know, and I will tell him about it, and I will explain it to him and have that conversation with him man to man when I feel like he is mature enough to handle it. Right now, he's only 7, so I don't want to jump the gun and have to explain it to him now and then later on when he's older, because he's too young to understand or really even, like, imagine what I'm saying. So, I'll wait on that a little bit longer, but you guys are for sure going to be seeing the kids in the vlogs. They love YouTube. They're huge YouTube fans, so they're super excited about me doing a vlog and having a YouTube channel. They've both asked me if they can do their own vlogs and their own videos, so maybe you'll even see videos that they record themselves, or I kind of just let them do their own thing with the camera. I'll obviously edit it for them, so that should be pretty interesting. I'm excited to do that, and that's pretty much it. That pretty much wraps up my video for today, explaining to you guys how I got 2 beautiful babies and how I am their dad. If you like this video, like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace.